morning, you guys, it's Karen, and I am here to show you a whole box of things that I regret buying. And I don't know if this is the kind of video that you'll enjoy or not, but I thought it was worth talking through them, because for me, gathering them together, I had the thought about it and I thought, let me see how many items I have that I regret. Made me realise how much money I waste on makeup, really. Because, or not just makeup, there are a couple of beauty things in there. I've got some tans and some skincare. And in a lot of cases with this makeup, it's not that there's anything wrong with the makeup. It just didn't suit me, and it was a bit of a whim purchase. So I'll explain as I go along. But I thought it might be helpful to you because it might either kind of put you in the same mindset as me and maybe think a bit more before buying something. That's definitely what I need to do. Or you might think, oh, well, if that doesn't work for Karen, it probably won't work for me. Let me first talk about the skincare items and then I'll move on to makeup. The first thing I regret is this. This is the Remy Scar Sagging Eyelids. And I've actually got two of them because I ordered one. I ordered it from Amazon. They said it was posted. I complained, so they sent me another one. And then, I don't know, a couple of weeks later, somebody that lived in somewhere that sounds very similar to my address had received this and brought it round for me. So I actually got two of these. So I was thinking of doing a giveaway with one of these, but I have to say it hasn't worked well for me at all. It's just a little, did I put the tube in here as well? It's a little tube like that. I don't believe it's sealed from memory, so I'm not going to open that one because that's the new one. But the idea is that you put it on your hooded eyes and it immediately smooths them. It's not something that's going to have a long-term effect. The idea is that it's short-term, and I was going to do a video for you guys. Let me know if you still want me to do that, because but it was a bit pointless, to be honest. I mean, the pictures they show look incredible, but when I put it on, it tightened ever so slightly, but it was all sort of, if to put enough on to make the skin tighten, it went all sort of white, like egg white, because egg white will have the same effect. And then when you put makeup on top of it, the effect disappeared, so it didn't really work. So that's something I regret buying. This is one of those things that I should probably have looked at reviews before buying it, or having spent the money, I should have at least done a video for you guys, because I think that was probably contributing to me buying it as well. Next are a couple of tanning products, and I have to say I don't regret buying them, in that if I hadn't have bought these, I would have been curious about them forevermore. So I don't regret it from that point of view, but they're definitely a waste of money because they didn't work for me at all. I can't think what else I could do with them to make them work, you know. And the first one is the Sienna Sleep Tanning Drops. And this is one of those that you either put a drop or two in with your moisturiser or use it alone. I tried it both ways, putting a couple of drops in with my moisturiser, had no result whatsoever. I mean, I couldn't, you know, I could normally see where I've tanned on my face and neck versus the rest of my body, and I couldn't see that at all. So I used it straight as it is, and it felt nice, etc. But my goodness, it was so patchy, so patchy. And I've had so many tans over the years that haven't worked, and some that have, that I know that it's not me. You know, I can't say, well, let me try something different. I mean, I did try again with moisturiser underneath and it was still patchy. Exfoliate, all of that kind of thing. But I've got products that work for me, so that is a complete waste of money. And then the second one was this. I was really looking forward to using this. It's a Saint Tropez Self Tan Purity Bronzing Water Gel. And I love how this applies. It's so quick to apply, like almost even quicker than a mousse, because it's sort of, you only need the tiniest amount and it goes on, you know, everywhere. Like you can put a tiny little bit on your mitt and that's you covered a whole leg and foot kind of thing. But it just doesn't work for me. It was, again, patchy, really patchy. And you guys know that I have been a fan of Saint Tropez self-tanners for years. And so clearly some of them work for me, some of them don't. The mousse isn't so bad. I've got the mousse as well, but it's just very light coloured. This one had a good colour. Does it say gradual? No, this one's not a gradual. This one had a really good dark colour, but it was very patchy, unfortunately. Two skincare items. The first one is this, the Avène Essential. This is Essential Intense. This is the one I talked about in my Retinol video, different Retinol products. I've tried a couple of Avène products, like, what's the other one that I tried? Was it triacnyl. It's another one with retinol in it anyway, and it just irritates me. I don't know why. I know one of them's got perfume in. I don't think it's this one, but using this just made my skin red and itchy, and so I stopped. And even, you'll see if it happens today, even when I put it on my hand, I could feel it sort of, yeah, I can feel it kind of irritating as it goes on. And I can't smell any scent for this. I know one of them has perfume in, but yeah, whenever I use it, it just makes my skin itchy, which is not good. Yeah, I can feel it getting really itchy there on my hand, which is unusual because normally, even if it affects my face, it wouldn't necessarily affect my hand. But that means that that is a waste of money, and I think it was £30. And again, not really anything I can do with that other than give it away. The final skincare product is from Number 7. So again, you may remember my video I did on these new skincare items. One was this one, which is the Resurfacing Skin Paste, and the other one was the... Now, it's another skin paste. It's in a green tube. I can't remember the name of it, but I do actually use the other one. The other one is kind of a moisturising mask. They're both masks, basically. They're calling them skin paste. I think is just a bit of a gimmick. But this one, I wish I'd have read the ingredients, because this one does have irritating fragrances in it, and so it's just something that I can't use. I did try it. It did sting and irritate my skin, and so... yeah, I wish I'd have looked a bit more closely at that. So this is definitely a regret. Okay, on to makeup, and I have got 4 eyeshadow palettes here that I regret. The first one is the Too Faced Tickled Peach, and this is it here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's really beautiful, but I have, you can see I've kind of used pretty much all of the colours to try them out, and they're no different from the many different peach colours that I've got like this. There's not one unique colour in there, and I know that this was just one of those things where I looked at it and was like, oh, that's pretty, and it's a small palette, I'm just going to get it. But as soon as I used it, I thought they're nice, but they're not as nice as some of the pigments I've got or some of the peach colours that I love using. So it's just going to sit there, and that's such a waste of money, you know. So that was one of those impulse buys, and again, nothing wrong with it. A couple of these are impulse buys. This next one, I think you might be surprised at, and I haven't showed you this yet. This is the Viseart Rose Edit, and this is what it looks like. Now, I adore Viseart shadows, and I think I made a sort of subconscious decision that anything Viseart that came out I was going to buy, just because I love the eyeshadow so much. I love the colours, the quality of the shadows. To me, that's probably my #1 brand of eyeshadows that I love is Viseart. They're just so easy to apply. Like, it's something I'd recommend to beginners, and these are no different at all. They are amazing. Oops, it's difficult to hold this. They're amazing, lovely colours. I can't say anything bad about these eyeshadows, and in fact, when I used that purple one, you guys were saying how lovely it was. But I have got beautiful purple eyeshadows that I just don't use anymore. I don't know why I don't love purple eyeshadows so much anymore. This one was another one that appealed to me, and I liked these 2 colours as well. But yet again, when I've used it, I've been like, it's not that much different to the other Viseart palettes I've got, although they're mini, I've got 4, I think it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, maybe more than that, of Viseart palettes, and I've got colours in there that I absolutely adore. And so by adding something else like this, it means that I've got so much more choice in my eyeshadows. And to me, what I'm realising is it means that I don't get to use the ones I love as much. I feel like for this last year, I'm constantly using palettes to see if I really love them, and then trying to slim down my eyeshadow palettes. But I've just got so many that I tend to be like, if I kept this, it would be like, right, I need to use this again and see if I like it, you know, that kind of way. Whereas there's eyeshadows that I know I love, and before I started YouTube, I'd only just started wearing eyeshadow, and there was, you know, one eyeshadow that I would wear for a couple of weeks because I loved it, and then maybe try one other. Whereas now I'm using a different eyeshadow every day, and even if I did that for the rest of my life, I think I would be, you know, it would take a year to rotate. I don't know whether I'm making any sense. So this one, I'm annoyed at myself for buying. I bought it simply because it was Viseart. There's nothing wrong with the palette at all. The colours are beautiful, but I already have them. The next one is the Anastasia Sultry, which I know that a lot of people love, and I I am going to keep this one. I'm probably not going to keep these two. I am going to keep this one because there are colours in here that I like. But when I look at it, it's mostly golds, and I don't really wear gold eyeshadow. I like peaches, really, peachy golds, you know. So there is that one rose quartz that is a little bit peachy, but the rest of them are golds, and that's something that I wear occasionally. And I think I bought this because, see this colour here, I'm looking for something not quite as silvery as that, like a silvery taupe. I've tried like buying single eyeshadows from Urban Decay, and one of them I've bought fits the bill exactly, except it's got too much glitter in and it falls out. But I'm looking for a silvery taupe that's kind of an everyday shadow, and I've never found it. And I think I thought it might be that one. And again, knew that I liked these type of eyeshadows, and so bought this palette. But I just don't wear golds that much. When I use this palette, I do like it, but again, I've probably got these in other palettes. So I am going to keep it, but it's one that I could definitely live without. The next palette I could like take out and go, oh, you know, I don't regret it. Oh, I do regret it. Oh, I don't, because it smells adorable. Oh, it smells amazing. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Gold. And I think I told you guys at the time that I kind of regretted this because I love the smell, and I always like Too Faced shadows. And I did have the Too Faced original chocolate bar palette, but I didn't use that one very much, and I gave it away. And I knew that they were doing it in this new thinner packaging, which I liked the idea of, and I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist the packaging. I thought this was beautiful. I knew that they would smell lovely, and I knew that I liked Too Faced shadows, so I bought it. And again, I think I was looking at this colour here thinking it might be that sort of taupey colour I like, but it's actually too silvery for me. I'm looking for something like that, but just a little bit more, don't know whether I'd say warmer. But anyway, again, nothing wrong with these shadows at all, but the only colour I like in here is this green. All of the other colours, for whatever reason, I feel like they make my eyes look older. Actually, that's not true. I do like this colour as well. There's two colours here, these two colours here. And to use two colours out of a whole palette really does make it a waste of money. And I mean, the mattes are okay, but I just feel like the shimmery colours in this palette, whenever I use them, I can notice the crepiness of my skin, the hooding, more than anything else. And I used to say the opposite about Too Faced. The ones that I used to say were anti-aging eyeshadows, if you like, that to me looked the best on my wrinkly hooded eyes, were Too Faced and Illamasqua. Although I did usually refer to the Too Faced matte palette, not the shimmers. But these shimmers just seem to, yeah, they don't do me any favours. They show up every bit of my crinkliness. I've actually tried to find this colour in other eyeshadows, in a single eyeshadow again, so that I can not keep this palette. If I find that colour, that green, something to match it, then I would give this palette away. I've got a couple of other eye items here. The first one is the Jelly Pop Jelly Much Shadow in Morning Light. Now this is a colour that I knew I would love, and it looks absolutely amazing. And when you put it on, it looks stunning. Do you know what? That's dried out. Look at that. That is all dried out. That's bad. Wow. Yeah, that's all bad as well. That's all dried out as well. This, when I first got it, was exactly like that, like jelly, but obviously it doesn't stay that way. The colour is absolutely stunning. And as soon as I put it on my eyes, I was like, oh, I love that. But it creased like crazy on me. Within a couple of hours, it looked terrible. There was actually like clumps of it falling off my eyes. So I don't know whether everybody had that experience with it, but it certainly didn't work for me. And so I've only used it twice. It's not like I've opened it a lot of times, and kept it in case I wanted to give you details of it. So yeah, I didn't expect it to be like that. You can see there's a couple of crumbs coming out, but that's really weird. The next two are the Stila. Now, I can never remember what they're called. One's called Liquid Eyeshadow. Oh, they both say Liquid Eyeshadow on them, but I think one is called a Glitter and Glow. And, you know, they do all different types of these, don't they? When they very first came out, I bought the one with sparkle in it, which is that this one? Yeah. This is the one I bought. Oh my goodness, it is just so amazing. Amazing. What colour is that? Rose gold. Rose gold retro. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? No, I actually swatched it in the shop and thought it was gorgeous, and that's why I bought that one. And then I bought this one. This is one of the newer ones, and this is supposed to be like a colour changing top coat. I think so anyway, but I'll put this beside the rose gold retro so you can see. And this one is in Peach Pretense. Peach Pretense. It's not peach at all. That's weird. It's pink. The rose gold retro one I think is absolutely stunning, and the reason I've kept it all this time is because I just really wanted it to work, and I tried so many different things. I tried glitter glue and different eye primers, and I thought, oh well, I'll just wear it for videos, you know. But even if I wore it to film a YouTube video, by the end of the video there would be glitter all over my face, and that really bothered me. So I got a lot of fallout from these. I know that a lot of people didn't. You know, I remember seeing reviews at the time and people would say, oh, I don't get any fallout from it. So I don't know why some do and so some don't. I don't know whether that's us or different products, but it just doesn't work for me. This new one, however, I bought this fairly recently. I think it was just after my birthday. I was having a bit of a shop and I thought, oh, that looks beautiful. But actually on the lids, I tried it over a couple of eyeshadows. Doesn't look that great, but also again has fallout. So I think I have to give up on these. I think I've got a couple left, either one or two of the ones without glitter, and I do really like those, but these ones with glitter just don't work for me. The final eye item might surprise you, and it's this Kat Von D lash liner. This is the one that is for the waterline. Oh, it's hard to undo. And it's got a little sort of doe foot type thing on it, and you may remember me reviewing this, and it definitely works for me better than any other liner, but it takes so much work to put it on because you have to, it only works if you hold your eyelid open and let it dry before you get in it, you know, before you blink. If I put it on and blink and the water's got to it, it either runs into my eye immediately or it just doesn't stay on. So the only way to get it to work is to put it on and then literally sit there until it's dry. So that's the first reason. It's just, I often think of this and I'm like, right, well, I use that and I think, oh no, it's too much hassle. I don't really want to be holding my, you know, pulling my eyes when I've got wrinkly skin. But the other thing is, when I do wear it, I do feel like my eyes are a little sore the following day. And I can't wear it with contacts. If I wear it with contact lens, it does bother my eye and I end up taking my contact out. So it's great if you've got time and, you know, don't, like for a special occasion, it would probably be really good because it would just stay put. But I just always think it's too much bother, or I want to wear my contact lens, you know. So unfortunately, it's another waste of money because I used it a couple of times around about the time I was videoing and then haven't really used it since. Okay, on to face, and then I've got some lip items. I've got quite a few lip items there. Face, I wanted to talk about this. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Some people swear by this foundation and love it. I bought it when it first came out and said to you guys I didn't like it. I thought it was maybe because my skin was so oily and that this was more geared towards dry skin. And then a few months ago, I decided I wanted some new foundations, and one of the ones I was looking at was the new Too Faced one. I can't even remember the name of it. Is it Peach something? Anyway, I went into Debenhams on the hunt for it, and they didn't have the new foundation out, but they had these, and I thought, oh, you know what? Let me give this a try. Again, now my face is less oily. They didn't have a colour that was dark enough, and so I got this one in Swan. And I just think that that's ridiculous. This is one of probably the biggest regret out of all of these is this, because number one, I knew it didn't work for me before. Yes, my skin may have changed, but knowing that, I could have asked for a little sample. You know, if you take a plastic pot into Debenhams, they will give you a sample from their testers of this foundation. Actually saying that, I don't know whether they had a tester of this one. Anyway, I could have got a little sample of it and tried it that way. Secondly, I kind of knew this was too light for me and would only work on the days where I hadn't self-tanned, which isn't very often because I mostly self-tan, and so it wasn't going to be very often I could actually trial it. And I just think that this was for my impatience. You know, I wanted a new foundation. They didn't have the new range I was looking for, and so I was like, oh, I'll just get this instead. I've done that a few times and I annoy myself when I do that because I still want to try the new foundation, and this one, complete waste of money. So I've used it a couple of times and really don't like it when I use it, and I don't know whether that's just because the colour's wrong, because it makes me look really pasty. So I will, if I'm ever, you know, round a Too Faced counter again, I will ask for samples of different colours if I can find a colour that suits me. But for now, that was a waste of money. I've got 4 face items here, and they're all from Becca, but I love Becca items. So just to clarify that, I think Becca products are beautiful, but the first 2 items are highlighters. Let me show you. One is champagne, what's it called? Champagne Pop, and the other one is rose something, rose gold. Champagne Pop, rose gold. The reason I regret getting these is because I don't use highlighter. This is another one of those I was trying to fit in, I guess, with YouTube, and you know, I saw so many people using highlighter and I thought it looked amazing, but I don't use highlighter, and so this is pointless. I remember with this one, this rose gold one, thinking to myself, it's okay though if you don't use it as highlighter, because you can use it as eyeshadow. But again, I've tried it as eyeshadow just in case, but it's nice, but I've got that kind of colour eyeshadows that I love a lot more. So these were a total waste of money because it was me trying to fit in, and I won't be buying any highlighters in future. Saying that, I've just bought a glow spray, but there you go. I've got a couple of highlighters left that I just can't part with, but because they are very, very soft. Like one of them is Laura Geller, I think it's called French Vanilla. It's a tiny little one I've got, you know, things like that barely show up as a highlight, just in case I ever have a fancy to use a highlighter again. I don't want to go out and buy any when I know that those are ones that are sort of very, very soft and that I enjoy. But definitely proper highlighters, if you like these. I don't know why I'm keeping them. I'm not going to use highlighter again. I don't know whether it's just, don't know if it's my age or the fact that I've got oily skin or what the reason is, but I just don't like highlighter on me. The final 2 face items are, like I said, blush, Becca items, and they're both blush. I think I might have already showed you one of these and said that I was going to get rid of it in a makeup I was clearing out, but I think, say I cleared out 20 items, I probably kept 2 of them. You know when you're clearing things out and then at the last minute you're like, oh no, but I really like that one. I think I did that with this one, or maybe both of these, but they're Becca blushes. This one is in Dahlia and this one is in Tiger Lily. These are actually ones where I followed the principle you're supposed to, but that's suggested. If you want to buy something, go away, leave it for a couple of days. If you still want it, then go and buy it, so that you're not making an impulse purchase. Well, I constantly craved these blushes because I just think they're such beautiful colours. But I knew that I'm way too pale. These are just not colours for me. These would suit my sister's skin, lovely, because she's mixed race. But for me, in my head, I was like, you know what? I love it so much. I'll just be really light-handed. Well, hello, do you not know yourself? I'm heavy-handed. I can't be light-handed, number one. But also, do you want to go to that much effort with a blush? You know, I'd have to find the right brush because I know that these are really well pigmented. I've never seen these in store because I would really like one of their blushes that does suit me, but I haven't seen the other colours. Let me know if you think there's another colour that would suit my skin, because I really do like their blushes. But these, I'd have to use a really sort of fluffy brush because they're very pigmented, and it's very hard to be light-handed. I have tried to use these and it's worked out just about okay, but it's a lot of work, and so I need to admit that these are just not my colour. On to lips. Finally lips, and I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items here. 5 lip items. I think they're all liquid lipsticks, are they? Yes. And a couple of them you haven't seen. The first one, let me get this one out of the way. This is Pop Beauty. This, I actually quite like the colour. But do you remember the hassle I had over Pop Beauty? So much so that I did a video telling you what happened. Basically, I ordered a mascara, this, and a lip liner. I love the lip liner. I'm wearing the lip liner today with Stila liquid lipstick in Caramello. And I do like this lipstick. It's okay. I don't love it, but it's okay. But I never got the mascara. What, did they send me the wrong one? I can't even remember now. No, I got the mascara and it was dry, wasn't it? There was nothing on the wand. And I had emailed them and I was getting no response. I'd emailed them again, I was getting no response. And eventually I did that video and said to you, I just, you know, there doesn't seem to be anything I can do. And a lot of you had said, oh, you can phone up because you've got this debit card guarantee, you know, that I should be able to say goods not received. I can get the money back, but to me it wasn't worth doing that. I hate speaking on the phone. I detest it. And it was, I think, £12.99 for the mascara. And so, you know, just to drop them an email, fine. Actually, somebody told me I was really stingy for wanting my £12.99 back, and I thought, it's not really about the money. It's about the fact that I bought something and I didn't get it. Surely that's not stingy. Just, I don't want to just hand out money to companies to just give me nothing. You know, I thought that was a really weird comment. Anyway, after I did the video and the update to you, eventually they replied. Like it took about 3 emails and a month every single time to get any reply from them, and they just weren't making sense. They then sent me, they said they were sending me this mascara again, another mascara, but they actually sent me face masks. Eventually they sent me 2 mascaras and an eyeliner, and the eyeliner was okay, the mascaras were terrible. They said they didn't have the one I wanted in stock, so I never got that mascara. So I like this colour okay, but I know that I will never ever order from Pop Beauty again, ever. And I don't know, like I'm saying I regret it, but I don't know how I could have ever known that they would be like that, because I haven't since looked up reviews, but I don't think that they're known for having bad customer service. You know, I don't think there's any way I could have known that, but I regret buying things from them, because now I love the lip liner, but I won't ever buy it again. Once it's gone, and this is okay. So I regret ever going to Pop Beauty. Okay, this next one, this is such a shame because I just adore this colour. And again, I don't know whether I've showed you this, but it's Smashbox. The colour is Man Eater. I think it's beautiful. And this is kind of like the blushes that I showed you, in that I need to know my colours. Isn't that the most stunning colour ever? And I bought it for the colour, despite knowing that this colour doesn't really suit me that well. Because I have got probably 6 or 7 red lipsticks that I very occasionally wear, and some of them look okay and some of them not so much. And this is the kind of colour that doesn't look so great. It looks beautiful on, I think it looks beautiful on darker skinned girls. Or just other people. I've seen it many times and other people look amazing, but whenever I wear it, I feel like I look ridiculous. And so it's another one of those that I need to know, don't buy any more red lipsticks. I've got enough. If I have a fancy to wear a bright, bold lipstick, I've got some, and I don't need to buy another one just because it looks, this is one of those, oh, look, it's so pretty. That's literally why I bought it. I was like, it's such a beautiful colour. But not on me. Okay, the next 3 are my most recent purchases, and you haven't seen them. The first one is the Kat Von D Everlasting, what does this say? Glimmer Veil. What was I thinking? This is in Lolita. I love the Kat Von D colour Lolita, and I do think that one looks okay if I've got the right eyeshadow on. But this one is basically a glittery version of Lolita. Why I thought I would be okay to wear glittery lipstick, I have no idea, because it looked ridiculous. That's it there. It does look very nice swatched, and I did I swatch it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I swatched it. And it doesn't even look that sparkly there, but when it dries, it is very, very glittery. It looks very sparkly. And I just thought, you look like a teenager. Like, for whatever reason, I can't pull it off. And I don't know why I thought I could. You know, I think, like, glitter on my eyes I already feel is too much. I like a sparkle, but on my lips, no, not unless I'm going to a fancy dress party or something. I don't know, maybe you disagree. I'm not saying anything about it being age. It's just me. I just think it doesn't look right on me. And so that was just because it was Lolita. You know, like I nearly bought the eyeshadow in Lolita as well. Thankfully I didn't, because I don't really wear that kind of colour on my eyes. But I love the Lolita lipstick, so I was like, oh, I love the Lolita lipstick. I'm bound to love the one that's glittery. No. Next are 2 liquid lipsticks, and I'm unsure I do feel like these are a waste of money, but I'm unsure how I would avoid it in future, other than just not buying something unless I can actually swatch it. So I guess the first one I could have waited to swatch. This is the Stila liquid lipstick in Angelo, and I did a swatch for you guys on Instagram, and I showed you how it looked different on my hand. When I swatch it there, it looks completely different to when I put it on my fingertip. But I have worn this quite a few times since getting it, and every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, no, it's too orangey, it's too corally, it just doesn't suit me at all. And I suppose with this one, I should have been more patient, and I should have waited until I could go to a big Marks and Spencer's, because Marks and Spencer's do tend to have the Stila liquid lipsticks. However, they take a long time to get new colours in, and these are fairly new colours. And so I just wanted some new liquid lipsticks. I got this one and the colour called Perla, which I do like, which is a kind of pinky colour, but it's just really luck. I can see looking at that, if I'd have swatched it, I would not have bought it. Even if I'd have swatched it on my finger, I don't think I'd have bought that colour. That's the kind of buying online mentality, isn't it? But this next one is by Jeffree Star, and this is in Mannequin. Let me see how it compares to this actually, because I feel like I don't like it for the same reasons. Yeah, this is even more orangey. I like really neutral. A lot of you probably don't like my lipstick today, for example, but I really like that. It's that kind of dead lips, I suppose, but very neutral. You know, actually I've put a lighter lipstick on top, so it's maybe a tad light today, but I like very neutral colours. That there is Mannequin. Now, Jeffree Star, I have wanted to try the liquid lipstick for such a long time. And I've looked at sometimes at the sets of the mini ones, but it's like £45, which is, you know, a lot of money if you end up not liking the formula. And so I spent a long time looking through swatches, looking at, you know, images of people wearing this colour or all of the other colours, trying to decide which colour would suit me or which colour I'd like. A lot of the time, the problem is that there's not many pale girls do pictures, it seems, of liquid lipsticks. I always think that they're on much darker girls, and so the colour you see on screen is then completely different to how it looks on you. But I did my due diligence and I still got it wrong. So, and I want to try the Jeffree Star lipsticks, and I'm tempted to buy another one, but I feel like, well, how can I avoid spending another, I think it was £17. I don't want to just throw £17 away to try something and go, no, it's not my colour, and then I'm stuck with it, you know. So I'm not sure how I can avoid that, but it's definitely a waste of money. You can see they're very similar actually, those colours, aren't they? And I have got colours like this. If I want to wear this type of colour, I've got them already. I know some of you will be asking, what do I do with all of the makeup that I don't use? And I've done various things over the years. I used to, when I worked in the hospital, I used to make up these little bags and like fill them up and then sell them for £20 to the nurses. And there's still a couple of nurses that want to buy the bags from me. That's because I used to take, before that, I used to take it to Women's Aid, which is, you know, a refuge for women that have suffered domestic violence, because that's very close to my heart. And they suddenly wouldn't accept anything unless it was brand new. So I couldn't take the makeup there. Then I did try selling some stuff in the times where Kev and I, when we lost our jobs and, you know, times were hard, I did try to sell stuff on the beauty bloggers website. But it's actually very difficult because you'll put something up and then you get 5 or 6 messages, and it's already hard for me to, you know, answer messages on the computer. So then they'd be like, come on, answer me. And then I'd have to wrap it up and then I'd have to take it to the post office, and you never sell it for very much anyway. So I didn't think that was worth it. And then I did a couple of auctions where I put the money, gave the money to the doggy charity that I am fond of. But I think I will probably send a lot of this to Giff and Makeup. They've still got rules. You can't send them, like, I don't think they'll accept the lip items. They won't accept like any mascaras or any tubes or anything like that. Like they probably won't accept these liquid eyeshadows, but powder products they're pretty open to. So that's probably what I will do. And what lessons have I learned from this? I've learned that I need to not buy on impulse like this. I need to be patient. And ask for samples. And I think as well, I need to, again, this is be patient, but like with the Still Liquid lipstick, wait and do swatches. Just be a bit more patient and I won't waste as much money. Actually, there's a lot of stuff here. Maybe I will do an auction. Tell me if anybody's interested. I will maybe do another auction for the doggy charity. It's called Animal Hope and Wellness, and they rescue dogs from that are being tortured over in Asia. So yeah, anyway, I have learnt a lesson because I'm looking at this and I dread to think how much it is. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Say there's about 20 items here. And let's say they're worth a tenner each, which is, you know, some less, some more. This is about £200 or £300 worth of makeup that I could do without. And I could very much find something to spend £200 or £300 on. So today's video was an opportunity for me to check myself. What is it they say? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, makeup. Today I have got on the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation in 3C1. So I think it's called Warm, and it's the oil-free one. It's the original one. I love it. I really, really love this foundation. So this one, I'm tempted to buy another one, and I was so tempted to buy one online, and I was like, no, you're about to do this video, heed your own advice. And so I'm going to wait until I'm next in Edinburgh and able to get, you know, swatches, swatch the colour, make sure I get the right colour for me. And I'm also going to ask for a sample of the moisturising one and the oil-free one in a lighter colour, because I'm really self-tanned at the moment, and see if they work out for me. On my eyes, I've used the Urban Decay Heat palette. Again, this is me going through eyeshadow palettes that I've got, seeing if they work for me or not. So it's the Heat palette. On my cheeks is Bare Minerals That Peach Though, Still Liquid lipstick in Caramello, as I told you, and then it's that NYX lipstick that I put on top. This t-shirt is from River Island. Oh, I'm molting a whole bunch of hairs here. And that's it. I didn't put any earrings in today, did I? Just had my normal earrings in. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this type of video, and I will speak to you again soon.